What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You see where we're at, All American Cycle. Funny thing about it, whenever I'm here, I'm bringing knowledge, man. I'm about to show you some knowledge. Now, I promised you guys this video a while ago, and I told you, and this is no disrespect, if you had a Harley 131, what could you do with it? The possibilities of it if you went aftermarket with pretty much the same parts. Now, it was hard to get somebody to say, hey, yeah, I'll talk about my setup. Yeah, because a lot of these guys are quiet about it. They don't want everybody knowing because these are usually competitive bikes. But I finally kind of like talked somebody into giving me some game, okay? And I even got George on board with giving me some game on this Harley 131 too. So we're gonna go talk to him right now. All right, look, I had to pull George away from working. I had to basically bribe him and bribe Miguel to show us some fucking information. This is Miguel's 2020 Road Glide Special, a badass bike. You guys have seen this bike before, you probably ain't paying attention, but it was going hard in the last fucking racing video. Guys to look in their eyes, because this is the truth that's about to come out about this bike. Like I told you, competitive guys don't really tell too much, but somehow, some way, we got them to tell some. So Harley 131 guys, if you want to step up to like the next level, this is how it goes, and this is what happened. So Miguel, you had a Harley 131 built straight from Harley. Can you tell me what the numbers were and what said, you know what, I can't deal with this no more?
Well, when I bought the bike, I got the 131 Harley kit installed from Harley and broke it in, came back, gave me a free dyno session. The bike over there on their dyno in Alligator made 131 horsepower and 141 torque.
So that ain't too bad.
No,
it ain't too
nice
bad.
Little step up from a 114.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but of course you get used to that power and you want more.
Okay.
So that's when I decided to bring the bike over here to George and let him work his magic and get me a little bit more power out of this 131.
Now, he created you a monster. Let's not just say get you a little more power out of there. Listen, the truth is, this bike runs pretty tough. It kind of represents the shop. It's one of the bikes that actually, you know, is in the videos. It's doing its thing. George, like I told you guys, he doesn't build them not for you to not be able to ride. You know what I'm saying? Miguel, how many miles you put on this bike? Like, what's the longest trip you took on this bike? After George did his thing, what's the longest trip you think you took?
I've been to
Atlanta.
Atlanta. No, I didn't drive to Atlanta. I've been to
the bike rides every week.
Yeah.
Probably every weekend the bike gets 200-300 miles in.
Easy.
It's a bike that he rides from.
And you're not babying the bike though. That's what they don't understand.
It was 1,300 miles.
Okay.
You know, but I've been to Savannah on the bike.
Right. It's Savannah. Okay, I got you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I got you. Now, George, for all the guys out there that are pretty much saying, you know, we want to do it, but we don't want to, you know, hurt the bike. We don't want to step outside that Harley gene that they got. What are you saying here? Because I want you to show some numbers. Can we do that today too?
Yeah, we'll show some numbers. So, actually, he's mentioned some power that he made, but that wasn't the power that it showed on the dyno when we first brought the bike in.
No.
When we first brought the bike in, you know, it came from Harley, and it's not because they do a bad job. It's just that's what they give them to work with. Is I think it made 126 and like 137.
Same day.
On my dyno.
Same day.
On the same day. So it pretty much got off the dyno. He came right over here because he had him retune it because there was some little bugs and they had
What kind of tuner they use over there?
They had a Screaming Eagle tuner.
Okay, so
they can't do much with that. But
gotcha.
With that, on my dyno, it was like 126 and 137, some stuff like that.
Now, I'm looking at the bike. I'm seeing carbon fiber wheels. I'm seeing the big air filter. I'm seeing a whole lot of real business going on right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, because we do drag race the bike, so you know we have the bike set up with the suspension we like, which is Legends. We adjusted the way we like it for hook. We got a 17-inch wheel in the back with a hookup tire. That's no secret. It's got a 21 carbon in the front.
I mean, that wheel just came in though, right? I mean,
yeah, we waited 7 to 8 months, I think, for that wheel.
I mean, that's a stretch, but hey, you know, it pays off in the end. I'm gonna let you guys
pretty
see
much
this.
did for the looks. I personally really like the extra weight in the front. It lets you keep the nose down when you're trying to drag race. But we wanted to have matching wheels in the bike, and the bike does look really good. In the motor, we changed pistons. We still have the stock Harley cylinders, which I'm not a fan of, but we use them when we need to. We changed the pistons. We got the head work done. The throttle body, injectors, filter. We put the D&D, and we tuned it on 93, and we tuned it on E85.
Say that again. You tuned it on which one? What was that? What's the last one you said?
E85.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you did
So
say that.
if you guys are talking crap about E85, you're really not educated on it.
No, well, you know what? Let's show them.
Like,
Let's show them.
It's a fuel that's hard to come by, so you can't get it everywhere. Because I get a lot of phone calls about, oh, I want to tune my bike in E85. So let me tell you about it. E85 is for those guys that want to hot rod around town and have access to it. The bike runs a lot cooler. It remains a lower head temperature for a longer period of time, much longer period of time. So it makes more power because the motor's not pulling back timing, and the engine is at a cooler temperature, so it makes more horsepower. It is a very dirty fuel, but all we need to do is change the the fuel filter. We've never had an injector go bad in the 85 ever. A fuel pump or any of that cost by the 85. It's just that we get an average of like 170 miles per tank, and the bikes love it. I mean, you kind of get spoiled when you run an 85 because once you go back to 93, you can see the difference. And I know it's just probably 3-5 horsepower, but the bike just runs a lot crispier and cooler the whole time. So yeah, there's guys like, oh, ethanol's the worst, this and that. It probably is if you're storing your bike. We're not storing them, we're riding them. We're hot
Absolutely.
them. We're running 10 seconds in the quarter-mile.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You running what?
510s. 510s. With a bike that rides everywhere, you know.
What do you call what do you call a bike? A highway bike, right?
Yeah, it's a highway bike.
It's a highway bike.
It's no secret because the guys that are our competition, you know, they know this. So
some of them run the same fuel.
Yeah, they run the same fuel. They run C85, and that's what we do. Let's show them the data. All right, so this is on 93. Very conservative tune. So the bike doesn't get hurt. You know, runs out 161 and 156. We gained out by changing cam, pistons, heads, doing some throttle body work, changing the exhaust around, and that's pretty much it. And then on E85, they made 165 and 160. But remember, I make that power for a much longer period of time because it runs a lot cooler.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I can hear somebody already asking me this question. So if I took my Harley 131, my Screaming Eagle, with my Screaming Eagle heads, with my everything that Harley gave me, and I said, let's do just a couple of things. I don't want to break the bank. I already bust my pocket with Harley the first time. If I want to just do cam, those little things that Harley didn't do, a new tuner, because I know you use Power Vision, right? Just those little things. Am I still making that kind of power? How much off?
So I got a pretty good combination that I use on a stock 131. What we do is we port the CNC port the manifold. We change the cam out. It's a small lift cam, so it's good because it's nice on the lifters. It doesn't beat up the lifters. That's one thing.
People don't realize that, huh?
Yeah, that's one thing that people, they don't tell you. When you start running 550 lift cams, 600 lift cams, it puts a beating on the lifters.
Right.
And we tell our customers to change the lifters at least every 10,000 miles.
Okay.
And it all depends on how you do your oil changes and how much you beat on your bike, but still, it gets to a point that the lifters do take a big beating.
But even Harley tells you need to change the lifters after so long. So, yeah. I mean, what's the big difference? You know, that's how I look at it. When I went to build my bike, I was saying to myself, listen, if I got to do it anyway, If it's a couple of thousand miles short of what Harley says, I don't really care. I got to do it anyway. All right,
So yeah, we changed the cam. We use a good exhaust system, like a 2-into-1 system, a D&D, thunder header. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, those are the ones. Those are the ones that make the power.
You got some 2-into-2 systems that do good.
Go ahead and say his name. Go ahead and say his name.
Chromeworks.
There it is.
They do pretty good. They do for being a 2, and they're a nice exhaust system, really nice.
Shout out to
for a regular
Chromeworks.
touring bike, you know.
Right.
And you can get up into the 150s.
Yeah.
And that's on 93. I've done a 21 that it got 150. Did a 2018. The guy got the motor done at Harley. He wasn't happy with it, and we did those changes to it. Bike made 149.
But that's 20 horsepower, 20, 25, 30 even sounded like, I mean, in horsepower.
It wakes up the bike back.
And that's like 2 different bikes.
Yeah, man, it really is.
Miguel, I got to ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
I mean, was it like night and day difference?
Oh, yeah, night and day. There's power down low, there's power up on top. The bike doesn't fall on its face. There's that stock 131 kit from Harley. After like 45, 4,600, you can feel the front suspension just collapsing down.
Okay.
And I was forced to shift because the bike wasn't going anywhere.
The bike was just...
This one pulls hard all the way up to $6,000.
I got you. Well, so listen, all the Harley guys out there, hey, if you don't want to spend the extra money, I understand. If you want to keep your warranty, I understand. But like I said before, you can come pretty close to keeping your warranty with doing some of the stuff that, you know, they do here at All American Cycles, man. This is not a spot where you're going to have to come back every week to get something checked out, to get things redone. Oh, I broke my bike. Listen, if you break one of these bikes, you tried to break it. Or you don't know how to ride. You got to take care of the bikes. You got to keep them under good maintenance. So this is why I come to George. That's why Miguel comes to George. That's why a lot of us come to George. Not only we're making the horsepower, but our bikes are reliable. We're taking a trip in October. We're riding these bikes up to Daytona. So if I had an issue, you know, I'd have no problem just saying, George, hey, we got an issue. And he probably, you know, it takes him no time to pretty much fix that kind of stuff.
And we do have guinea pig bikes. You know, you guys don't. My bike is a guinea pig.
Whoa!
Bike.
Don't.
We're not gonna talk about, you know.
We got another video coming in a second.
We got another Black Road Glide that is a bike that's just went to Laconia, drove there and back. Big motorbike, bike that has 180 something horsepower.
They don't realize it.
So we do put it to the test and we find the weak points. We just turned down that motor after 20,000 miles. It's big cubic inches, everything top of the line. We learned a lot about the cam that we were using, about the springs, what got worn out, and we're putting it back together. And we didn't take it apart because it broke. We take it apart because it's a guinea pig bike.
You gotta have the knowledge. He's putting together these combinations, man, and the combinations are working. It's been proven. It's been proven to over 30,000 people who watched a shellacking in Atlanta. Hey, I said it.
And there's another thing. We don't ride around with quarts of oil in our saddlebags.
Right.
Our bikes do not use oil. Our bikes do not overheat. And we're pushing limits on compression. We're running pretty high compression. Everything we do is...
There's some secrets out there that George has to
12.
keep these bikes cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell it because it ain't my business to tell.
These other companies and other guys doing the same thing. They want to build you this big old motor and plan that motor is going to run on a stock oil cooling system. You know, it's like, you know, when you got a big block Chevy, you don't run it on a stock radiator. You upgrade the radiator.
Right.
Look at the Motor America bikes. When they first started, if you were following up with it, they were burning the engines. Now they're fighting to see who has the biggest oil cooler.
Right.
And keeping the bikes, you know, keep the bike cooler. And it takes a lot. It's a little bit of everything.
We're gonna get into that oil cooler business because I think people think just because you throw those what are those little fans, the love jug.
Those fans help when you're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, but
I find that the bike gets the hottest when you're running 90 miles an hour down the highway for a couple hours.
Right.
Fuel tank to fuel tank, and you're running, the head temperature just gets up there and the oil temperature gets hot, and that's when the oil cooler comes into place.
I mean, George dyno tunes a whole lot of bikes.
I dyno tune like an average. I was like averaging like 5 bikes. Now I'm like probably 7 to 8 bikes a week.
That's a lot of bikes.
And that's twin cams, M8. We only do Harleys.
All right, but just tell them one more thing before we get out of here, man. We have the worst temperature. We have the worst sea level. We have the worst everything. If you're making horsepower here, I mean,
look at that temperature in the dyno room right now, up in the right corner.
And I'm sweating my balls off, so y'all know. But there goes the temperature up there in the corner. We have nothing going on right now, but Jesus.
That's another thing. Like my dyno room, it's okay. It could use better ventilation to get more fresh air in, more fumes out. There's guys out there that have really nice dyno rooms that helps the numbers big time. And so my numbers are based on what I put out in my dyno.
So tell them this.
I don't chase dyno numbers. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we don't fluff the numbers around here. But most bikes here are built like they're being built in the summer. Everywhere else, they're being built like they're built in the dead of winter. We don't have that luxury of having no humidity, you know, all those things. So when we make the numbers here and we take these bikes anywhere else, the numbers are gonna be crazy. You won the dyno shootout on an outside mobile dyno. The bike put down a lot of power on pretty much a race tire. So it's telling you something. But guys, you know, you can take my advice, but I brought you to the man right here to give you the information. And then I had Miguel confirm everything because I don't make this shit up. It's true. So we're gonna show you Miguel's bike in a second. I'm gonna do a little walk around or something like that. But hey, George, I appreciate it. Miguel, I appreciate it. I know that bike is gonna be doing this thing sometime soon because we're about to start calling a few people out. But guys, let me show you this bike. All right, guys, so I had to ask him to start this bike for us, man. This is what a D&D exhaust sounds like with some power put to it. So guys, I know you're gonna ask what exhaust is it. It's the D&D, this is a billet cat, right? It's the billet cat. So here you go. It's the same exhaust I run, but here you go. I'm pretty sure that cracked the damn microphone on the camera. But guys, that's how these bikes sounds. That's a bike that's well put together. That's the compression. That's just hey man, monsters, animals. That's what it is. All right, guys, until the next time, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like it. Till the next time, peace.